Hi, this is Tim Cant for Plugin Boutique, and in this video we're going to look at how to get the organ sound from a dance classic. That's right, it's Haddaway's What Is Love, a tune that I enjoyed unironically when it came out in 1993, I believe it was. So let's have a listen to what I've got. So there we go, pretty close. You'll notice I've changed the chords around because I don't want to tread on anyone's toes copyright-wise, just made it a little bit more gospel-y. So, you know, we've got a very familiar kind of late 80s, early 90s uplifting house sound, which we all love so much. Now, how did I go about creating this? Well, my first thought was, where did this sound come from originally? And did a little bit of YouTube research, and it seems as if it comes from the Roland D70, which is a keyboard that there is no plug-in version of. The closest thing is the Roland JV1080, which is on Roland Cloud subscription service. So I tried to find, I used a MIDI file to get the chords. I changed them around a bit, and I used it to play the augmentative patch, which was the patch that I found was closest to the Haddaway record. It sounds real nice, but it doesn't sound too much like the original. But one thing I did notice when I was playing with this was I tried turning off some of the tone switches, which you can do in the JV1080. So let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, this voice 4 is just like a percussive sort of click sound that you get from an organ. So I noted that with my mind. So what next? I've hit a dead end with Roland, so I'm gonna have to make something myself. So what's the hottest organ around? That's right, it's your Arturia B-3 V. Oh, it's a monster. So what I did was I got my MIDI. I found a suitable preset that's kind of close to what I wanted. I went for June Morning. As you can see with the asterisk there, I have fiddled with it a bit. So let's hear what we've got. It sounds pretty nice. It doesn't really sound like the sort of sample and synthesis based D70 keyboards, but no matter, because we're going to use it as a basis to create our own sampled sound. So I've tweaked the presets here. I've turned all the effects off apart from the chorus, which I've left on. And what I've done is I've messed around with these drawbars, and I've pulled out some, but not all, of the stops. You can change the sound by moving these in and out. It's kind of like additive synthesis. And I got what was close enough to the What Is Love organ. So I created a copy of that. I've taken the effects off apart from overdrive, no chorus, so we're going to get a mono sound. And I played it on C3. Also, I've used a bit of multiband transient shaping and compression from Neutron just to kind of increase the attack a bit. I mean, that's not really necessary. It's just, I just really wanted to make sure that I had a really kind of upfront sound. So I played one note on C3. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to resample this and play it back in a sampler. And that'll hopefully give us something like a sample and synthesis keyboard. So we've bounced this. We've just got our note here. There's nothing on it. This is the foundation of our sound. So then I've loaded that sample into a simpler instrument on a MIDI track. So you can use any sampling instrument for this. And I'll take the chorus off, and I played the MIDI with this, and this is how it sounds. So there we go. It's getting pretty close to the Haddaway record. It's mono. Chorus livens it up a bit and gives it that sort of more character that's authentic to the record. And that is a sound I'm really quite happy with. And it's something that I feel is kind of usable as well. And you'll notice on this third chord, it's playing pretty high, and you get a bit of a different timbre there. So it's kind of brighter there and softer there. And I quite like that because it's got that kind of old school sample and synthesis feel. So that's okay, I reckon. Now, my mind came into play at this point, and I thought back to the clicky noise on the JV. And I was like, okay, how can I recreate this with just zero effort? I mean, I could generate some noise or something like that. That seems like a lot of effort. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a copy of this sampled instrument, and I'm going to turn down the amplitude envelope just so we get a kind of clicky noise. Now, it doesn't really sound like anything a real organ would create, but when we combine it with the bass organ, it gives us a little bit of extra punch in the attack that, you know, gives us more of an upfront sound. So there you have it, a sample and synthesis style organ patch from a more organic sound source. And it's, you know, if you're into this sort of thing, it's worth trying with other, particularly keyboard sounds and of course synths and stuff like that. So yeah, give it a try, see if you like it.